Okay, so we're starting off with some movement.
And use this time to bring your awareness into your breath.
Really important for me when I am trying to get out of my head and into my body, especially if you are a generator like me or a manifesting generator even. Like for us, movement is so important, that we are getting the energy out of our bodies.
So circle your body in one way, inhaling as you arch.
When I am like in my PMS luteal phase, I really do struggle with getting enough movement out of my day and exhausting my energy, just because I do feel so drained in general. But taking it really slowly with something like yoga is really important. And
then look up in between your hands, walk your feet forward, halfway lift.
Really seems to do the trick for me. And also in terms of cycle syncing, you know, like now is the time in our cycle when we should really be slowing down and doing more slower, less intensive exercises as well.
Press back, straighten your legs, reach your arms back. Then reach your arms up to the sky, inhale, stretch.
Yoga for me is quite difficult still, so it really does, I have to focus my mind on the practice. Like I can't think about much else. I'm just there with my body, working through, flowing through the movements.
Woman, I'm a motherfucker, but they got a problem. Put some babies in your life and take away the drama. Put the paper in the picture like a diorama. Gotta face a lot of people of the opposite, cause the world told me we ain't got that common sense. Gotta prove it to myself that I'm on top of shit. And you would never know a God without a goddess is honest, is fucking honest. Kidding, I could be on everything. I mean, I could be the leader, head of all the states. I could smile and jiggle it till his pockets empty. I could be the CEO, just like a Robin Fenty.
So I feel like after a week, after I've used like all my kind of exfoliating products like retinol or lactic acid or, you know, different things like that, my face just needs like a physical exfoliant. So something like this really helps, which is the Body Shop Chinese Ginseng and Rice Clarifying Polishing Mask. I mean, apparently they're going out of business, so get it while you can, but I do like to put this on like at least once a week, and my face just feels like super baby soft and smooth, and it kind of just gives a bit more of a glow to my skin. I feel like the exfoliating products or the chemical exfoliating products are really good, but then also I do need a physical exfoliant just to kind of like get that dead skin like off of my face, and I do notice the difference between the two a lot as well. Yeah, before I hop in the bath, we're just gonna add some of this on my face. Let's go relax in the bath. The PMS anxiety for me is usually about me overthinking about my own life. So the way that I like to healthily escape that is by thinking about someone else's life. You know, let's indulge in a fantasy, a place to escape to that doesn't involve myself, my own problems and my own fears, you know. So really for me, that is either reading a book. Currently I'm reading The Fire Endless, so I've actually just finished this book and I love this 2-part series. The writing style of this is so pretty. And if it's not a book, I will sometimes force myself to sit down and watch a film. Again, just something to escape to. Like, this is the time where I usually pull out like the Studio Ghibli films. My 2 favorites are Howl's Moving Castle and Ponyo. Those are like my go-to feel good, like chill movies. Something about, you know, knowing the ending, you know you're gonna enjoy it, taking it again very easy, and allowing my mind to escape in healthy ways. For me, really, anxiety stems from a fear of the future, a fear of the unknown, but mainly for my specific circumstances. You know, am I going to be able to live the life that I want for myself? Like, that's kind of where a lot of my fears kind of come from, and like my anxious thoughts and overthinking stems from. And it is around this time of year anyway, about like 5-6 months into the year, when we're coming up to summertime, where I want to refresh my vision board. I want to just focus on more like light-hearted, fun vibes. The more you see something, the more you believe that it's possible, that it can be yours, and that it's real. And I slightly covered this in my What They Don't Tell You About Manifesting video, and I will leave the guidebook link down below. But from looking at my 11th house in my natal chart, I can see that visualization is a really strong suit for me. Being a little bit delulu with it can really help bring my hopes, dreams, and manifestations into reality with a lot more ease. Okay, so when it gets to the evening now, I like to make sure that well, this is something I do consistently anyway, but in terms of focusing on my specific skin needs when like my skin concerns, when I'm like around my luteal phase, which is when my skin gets really oily, gets particularly oily because I already have oily skin anyway. So it's around this that I really try to make sure that I'm doing my retinol serum a lot more regularly, which I do it every like 2 to 3 times a week, but around this time is when I would like be like, okay, we're doing it 3 times a week, we're staying on this, trying to get our skin back into some kind of balance, so I use the retinol. This one is the Naturum one, retinol complex serum with patchouli and vitamin E. I really like this one. I haven't really used any other ones, so I don't know if, you know, I don't think it's doing anything crazy, but I think it's a good amount for my skin, especially as I'm, like I say, kind of still new to retinol, so I don't want to be crazy with it. You know, my forehead is really where it gets really oily, so, you know, putting it on there. I'm not going to add it tonight, but also want to mention the niacinamide and zinc formula from The Ordinary, which I also like to use when my skin is feeling particularly oily. I feel like it just really helps with like controlling the oil of my skin. Also, it's just like a nicer, less harsh version of like getting rid of some blemishes. As you can see, I'm like starting to got a spot here, which is pretty good for me because I used to break out like a lot. Like, you can already see these scars are still here, which these have been here for months now, so I don't know, maybe they're just part of my face at this point. But I've been doing my skincare consistently since like Jan, the start of the year, so I've really noticed like my skin has been a lot less breakouts because of that. And I think it has been the incorporation of retinol that has really helped as well, so that's why I'm giving it a thumbs up. But yeah, I would like to say I do sometimes use that as well around this time when my skin is getting oily. But again, I use that in my daily skincare routine anyway. I don't switch things up too much. And if I am having a particular like bad breakout on a specific spot or something, I'll go in with like a little spot, what are they called, a little patch. The ones that I have is the Corks one, the Clear Fit Master Patch, and yeah, I like these as well. These kind of help bring up the spot to the surface a little bit quicker and kind of help with the healing process of everything, I think, as well, or just speeding up the process so that it can kind of just be over and done with. But this one's okay. It's a little bit sore, but I'm gonna leave it for now until it starts aggravating me anymore. So we're not gonna use this today, but I'll just put on my little cream for the evening, and yeah, I'm gonna go and do some yoga before I head to bed. I'm so tired recently. I am very tired right now, so yeah, I'm just gonna try and get a little stretch in because my body needs a good old stretch, and head to bed. I might even try to do some journaling because I have a lot on my mind. And as we all know, journaling is so important for people who have a lot of overthinking, suffer from anxious thoughts, you know, like getting those fears out onto paper helps you process through each emotion and makes things feel so much less heavy than they are when they are weighing on your mind. But yes, as obvious as it is, a lot of the time even I forget how much I value writing down my thoughts and just things that are congesting my mind, how much value it has just getting it out and putting it into words, having to articulate it, because your mind can ruminate over something for ages, but I feel like as soon as you start writing about it, like you're like, okay, that's a bit silly and that actually doesn't hold as much weight as I thought it did, and you know,